Let's go ahead and start in a nice, comfortable seat. So, welcome everybody to our Tune In Tuesday Yin Yoga practice on Insight Timer. My name is Casey, and this is my Zen yoga teacher. She had a birthday over the weekend. Betty is now 11, and I've had her for 10 years. So, yay for Betty. All right, so let's sit up nice and tall. Today's asks, we have some needs for some nervous system grounding and calming, so we'll get to those postures. And I threw in some stuff for the low back and for the hips, but we'll always have space for more if we need. All right, so sitting up nice and tall, everybody. Kitty says, happy birthday, Betty. Thank you, Kitty. All right, so shoulders are over the hips, and if you'd like, you can just take a moment to find that evenness forward and back, and then left to right, so you can rock a little left to right. And when you find that space where your shoulders are over your hips and you're pressing down into your sitting bones, allowing your spine to grow tall, just pause once you find that space. And just do your best to relax your hands. Maybe your eyes close from top to bottom. And if you don't close your eyes, just allow your eyes to look down in front of you very softly, very gently. And now we come to prana, our breath, our life force. So begin to take in some fuller breaths, a little more intentional, a little fuller. Maybe notice the body expanding with your breath. Maybe you notice the air, the temperature of the breath. Maybe you notice the temperature of the air on your skin. Is it hot where you are? Is it cold? Is it just right? When we close our eyes, we can really begin to tap into the other senses: sound, smell, taste. So, what do you notice from those senses that are available to you? What do you smell? What do you taste? What do you feel? What do you hear? What do your hands feel beneath them, in your palms, your fingertips? What sounds do you hear inside of the room you are in? And then perhaps you can hear the sounds in the rest of your home or wherever you are practicing today. And then maybe you hear sounds outside of the space, outside of the room. Maybe the street sounds, or airplanes, or helicopters, or sirens. What do you smell? Maybe you smell some food that had been cooked earlier, or coffee or tea, depending on the time of day. What do you taste? What was the last thing that you had inside of your mouth? Maybe nothing. Maybe dinner, maybe breakfast. Again, maybe it was a beverage. Taking 2 to 3 more breaths here. Again, just noticing all of the other senses that are available to you besides your sight. Notice how you're feeling in your body today: tight, stiff, loose, alert. There's no right or wrong answer. It just is. It's an observation we are making about our physical body before we start our practice. And then when you're ready, gently blink open your eyes. Come back to your space. All right. Hello. I see a few more friends have popped on. If there's something that you're looking for today in practice, please feel free to type it in the chat. Welcome. Good morning. My name is Casey. So far, we have some grounding needs. So for the nervous system, low back and hips. But if there's anything else that you want to address, whether it be a posture you specifically are asking for, we can do that. Or if there's an area of your body that you want to work on, or also if there's something you want to avoid. Oh, thank you, Mama. I need my mat now. Thank you. All right, friends, let's go ahead and begin with a nice grounding hip opener. So if you're sitting on something, please come off of it. Option to use your bolster or a blanket or blocks. It's going to be a Supta Baddha Konasana. Actually, it's not going to be reclined. We're going to take it forward. So soles of the feet come together. And you can decide how close the heels are to your body. If you want them a little bit further away, that's going to work more like the outside of the hips. If you bring the feet closer in, that's going to work more of the inseam. So you get to choose what you want to feel and where you want to feel it today. Feel even on your sitting bones. So maybe sit up on a blanket if you feel like your low back is rounding, if you're kind of like curving under too much. You want to still sit up nice and tall on those sitting bones. So you might even move the buttock flesh to the sides a little bit. So once you find that evenness on your sitting bones and you're happy with where your feet are, go ahead and bring your chest, your head forward. And let's take this into a really nice, long, lengthy hold. So for 4 minutes, take your time. Maybe you just slowly start to come forward. And if you ever need support in this shape, you can use a block, you can use a bolster, use what you have to support your body so you can stay here for the full time, right? The longer we hold in these shapes, the more benefit we can receive. So you want to make sure you find that just right spot, that sweet spot, what we call the Goldilocks. Not too easy, not too hard, but it will allow us to stay in the posture for the time. If we go too deep, we may not be able to hold as long. So that's why it's important, really. I mean, this practice is so good for staying present because you have to constantly be monitoring and asking, how does this feel? What happens if I go deeper? What happens if I change this? So we have lots of time to explore the shape when we're in it. So take advantage of it. Once you find your spot, just hold still and breathe. Keep taking that breath into the body to expand those spaces and move that energy that is stuck there. I'm a huge fan of detoxifying the body, whether you're moving your body or you're eating things or drinking things to support that process of detoxification. Yes, we have organs that do that work, but I believe, why not? Let's help them out. Let's give them a little boost. Let's make sure they're really detoxifying, making sure those lymph nodes are nice and open, making sure that we are eating good, clean food to support the body. Dandelion tea for detoxification, cilantro for detoxification, pumpkin seeds for parasites. I could keep going on and on and on. Oil of oregano. All natural, holistic stuff, my friends. Making sure that we are sweating. So sauna or working out, moving all that lymph and the toxins out of the body. Yoga, all of it supports detoxification. Heavy breath work helps with detoxification. All right, friends, once you find that sweet spot and it gets a little bit easier, see if you can go a little bit deeper into your shape. We are about 1 minute left into this hold. All right, friends, take a fuller, deeper breath as you inhale that breath in. Slowly come back up. Take your hands on the outsides of your knees and just gently bring the knees together. And place your hands behind you for a little support. You can walk the feet a little bit wider, and if you want, you can just kind of windshield wiper the knees side to side. Good. Just a little bit of movement. We had some nice external rotation in the hips from that posture, so hopefully you felt it. I know I did. Depending on where you had your feet, that will determine where you felt it in your legs, whether you felt it in the inseam or on the upper outside of your hips here. All right, I'm really enjoying going for this whole grounding thing today. So let's bring ourselves all the way down to our bellies for a little Sphinx posture. And then we'll do a little counter posture for that as well. I think it's going to be all nice, very grounding. Could be a lot of belly work, but think about going inward, just drawing all of that awareness inward, right? So just kind of like the senses thing we were doing in the beginning, closing our eyes. Feel free to close your eyes in any of the postures that we do going forward. I mean, I always encourage you to close your eyes in the postures because it does really allow you, or at least for me, it really allows me to feel into the physical body. All right, friends, so come down all the way to your bellies, elbows slightly in front of the shoulders. And maybe you just kind of rock your hips a little side to side. Depending on how your low back is feeling, if you're already feeling a little bit in the low back, then take your feet, keep them a little bit wider. And then as we stay in the pose a little bit longer, maybe the feet get a little bit closer. So if the low back feels super healthy and there's no pain, no strain, maybe you start with the feet together. But if there is a little bit of something happening, take your feet a little bit wider. It just supports your low back. And it's little things like that that yoga teachers, when they cue you, hopefully, right, they explain a little bit. Why? Like, I don't know. I always like to know why. I'm such like, well, why? Why? Well, this is why. Okay, we're going to do another nice, long, juicy 4-minute hold here. I think this is going to work really well for us today. So we have 3 minutes in our Sphinx, and the final minute, if you like, you can take it up into a seal. So that'll be an option. But for here, maybe just take the elbows a little bit wider if it's a little too much on the low back to be have the elbows like right underneath the shoulders. That's why I have them a little bit in front, but you can also make your base wider and bring your chest closer down to the floor. And then once you've decided where you want to be, you can drop your chin down, drop your head back, or just kind of leave your head neutral. Try to soften as much as you can here, especially into your low back. But keep your low back safe. Keep checking in and noticing, oh, can I bring them closer together or should I keep them apart? That's why this practice really is so good for staying present. If we have that tendency to kind of drift off, like if this were a restorative class, you have that tendency to kind of drift off, then Maybe take the pose a little bit deeper, because if you're able to kind of drift off in a shape, maybe you're not going as deep as you can. So maybe challenge yourself when necessary. Take it a little bit deeper and breathe. And as you are here in your Sphinx pose, just do a brief scan on your body. Notice if you're holding tension, if you're clenching your teeth or making fists with your hands, or clenching your glutes. Can you soften and release? Exhale, let it go. All right, my friends, we have one more minute left in this shape. You are more than welcome to stay right here in your Sphinx, or if you like, you can press your hands, gently lift your elbows off the floor, take it into a seal, soften through your low back. Breathing here. Soften through your jaw. Let your tongue rest in the palate. Where can you let go a little bit and soften? Okay, friends, slowly release your body all the way down. Make a little pillow with your hands and just pause there. Just take some breaths, release any hold. Take a couple recovery breaths here. And release, let it go. Right. When you're ready for a little movement, maybe you bend your knees and just let the feet sway side to side. Right. Taking it into another little counter pose. Gently bring yourself all the way back down onto the floor. We're going to bring that right knee out to the side. So take it into like a little Superman, excuse me, Spider-Man, rather, like Spider-Man is crawling up the wall. Same arm can kind of come into that goal post, and the back arm can kind of do like that opposite. So the palm is face down. I'm just going to turn this palm so you see what the other one looks like. So it's a little bit more like that, right? Okay, so it's like telling you to stop if you were driving. All right, like the hand signal if you're a cyclist. Okay, friends, we're going to hang here for 1 minute on each side. If you choose, you can turn your head the same direction as your leg and your arm, or you can turn your head the opposite way. If you want, you can bring a blanket underneath. Just pause and rest here. Breathe. Nice little soft grounding pose, something for the head and neck and the shoulders and the hips. but also very grounding, right? The whole front of your body is on the ground. Should feel very soothing and relaxing. All right, friends, slowly slide that right leg back towards midline. And then you can switch your arms out when you're ready. You can turn your head the other way. So left knee out to the side. Maybe it's in that right angle, or maybe it's not. And then we'll bring one arm into that goalpost and other arm opposite. And we breathe. All right, friends, slowly turn your head back. Walk your hands under the shoulders. Slide your legs together. Come up into a brief little all fours. We're going to take some cats and cows just to kind of stretch the back out and the belly. And then we'll take it into another little counter pose. So knees are underneath hips, wrists are under shoulders. And then as you're ready, take it into your cats and cows. Inhale, look up, lift those sitting bones. Exhale, round, pull the belly up. Keep moving with your breath. Inhale. Good, and then exhale. And then go ahead, take the big toes together, sit your heels back. We're going to bring it down into a child's pose. I'm just kind of riding this wave of grounding postures of like, what comes next? What would make sense? So let's go ahead, come down into a child's pose for about 2 minutes. Now your arms, they could be extended, straight, resting the elbows, or you can bring the arms alongside your body. So totally up to you. Use a blanket, use a bolster, whatever makes sense for your body. So when you're ready, go ahead and get yourself all set up. And we will be here for 2 minutes. How you doing, everybody? Good? All right, if anybody else popped in, I see a few more of you showed up. If there's anything else you're looking for, kind of working with the nervous system, low back and hips today, but if there's anything else, please feel free to type it in the chat. We are going to do some more grounding work after this with the legs, so just to kind of prepare you. All right, 2 minutes in our child's pose. Bring your forehead down and keep reaching those sitting bones back towards your heels. Again, take that awareness inward. What is happening inside? Carefully bring your hands underneath your shoulders. And then inhale, slowly come back up. Oh, boy. If you like really breathe in that child's pose, your nervous system, like if you take those fuller, deeper breaths, your nervous system will completely just calm, right? This act of going inward. I love it's like this turtle shape. And what do turtles do? They retreat, they pull all their limbs in their head and then they go inward. So I think turtles are pretty good at being yogis. I don't know. That's just my take on turtles. Okay. All right. If you like, go ahead and come forward, hands and knees, and then begin to just kind of stretch out your legs. Press back through that heel. Take whatever movement that you need. We have a few more moments and then we will meet in a comfortable seat on the ground. All right, so doing good so far, everyone. Any more requests? We're feeling okay so far? Don't be shy. I love your feedback. That's what makes this class our class, right? I know we don't get to be in the same physical space, but we get to be here in the same digital space. So the more that we can interact and kind of like engage, the better and the more fulfilling I find the class to be, right? All right, so thank you so much, everybody. All right, so sitting up nice and tall, we're gonna come into shoelace or half shoelace. Full shoelace is gonna look like this, like those cow face legs. You wanna make sure that you are even on both of your sitting bones. Kitty, I know you put a little comment. I'm gonna pop over really fast. I like to know why too. Yeah, me too, right? I'm assuming that was about like explaining postures and things like that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, why we do things. It's important to know. Don't just listen to your yoga teachers blindly, right? Sorry, I have a Betty hair on me. Don't follow your yoga teachers blindly. Like, we're humans, we make errors, we make mistakes. We're not perfect beings. All we're doing is sharing the knowledge that we have. And sometimes, what did I hear? I have a friend that I used to work with, and she recently became a yoga teacher. And I'm just loving watching her journey as she's starting out, kind of thinking about my journey when I started. And I still feel like I'm starting, even though I've been teaching yoga for 10 years. It still feels like I'm a beginner at this, even though I've been practicing for 19, right? So to me, the information, the teachings of yoga are so vast and so wide that it's one of those things, those philosophies that I don't feel I will fully ever know everything about. So it's like you take the things that you enjoy and you like and you teach them to other people. And sometimes that's just knowing a couple different things. Two more, maybe three more things than the person that you're teaching knows, right? You can impart a little knowledge. Okay, so this is full shoelace, my friends. If you're taking a half shoelace for whatever reason, if the knees just don't work that way, or if it just causes too much pain, then take the half shoelace version. That means you can cross the shin below or above the knee, just not on top of the knee. Relax the leg, let it roll open, and then you can come forward into a hinge. And this is where we're going. Or I have this wall behind me. If this feels better, if you're getting a lot out of it, maybe a hip opener. You can take your hand and press the hip or the thigh open to create that space in the hip. Maybe this is where you are today. If that's where you are, then be here. If you're going to join me, then take that other leg underneath, take it into a full shoelace. Feel even on both sitting bones. And I think let's do 2 minutes on each side. I think that's going to feel really good. So make sure you're even on those sitting bones. And then whenever you choose to do so, kind of hinge forward, lean forward, place the hands down, use props if you like. You can take a blanket over the legs, you can take a bolster, you can even bring a block and rest your forehead. That's one of the things I enjoy about yin is that you don't always have to use props. Props are there to support you, different from restorative, where we kind of just place the body and drape the body over these props and let the props do the work. The props in yin just support us. They help us to stay there a little bit longer. so that we're not stressing other parts that don't need to be stressed. But they do come in very handy. But I do love a good naked yin class, like no props, just your body. It's a good practice sometimes. Just nothing, no props. And maybe you come a little bit deeper. I want you to use your judgment, your sense by the sensations your body is experiencing. That is for you to decide and determine, do I take this deeper? Do I stay right here? And just because you go into a shape and you go a little bit deeper and it doesn't work for you, doesn't mean you have to stay. You can always back out of it. All right. You're not stuck ever. You have the ability to move out of that shape whenever you're ready. I'm just here to offer suggestions with a time limit. So if you need to come out beforehand, do so. Always listen to your body and protect it. It's very wise. All right, friends. Walk your hands back towards your body, and then once they're under your shoulders, inhale, bring yourself back up. All right, you can unwind your legs the regular way, or if you want to do a little spin, you can do a little spin to get the legs so the other leg is on top. And that's if you're taking a full shoelace. So I'm going to take my hands down into the earth, do a little spin. I don't want to bonk my head. And then as I spin all the way around, my other leg comes on top. All right, so shoelace other side or half shoelace. Just make sure when you place your leg, if you're doing half shoelace, just make sure you don't put it on top of the knee. Hi, Julia, welcome. I find with going naked, I can sense my limitations and stay as is, right? Totally. I find that too. Like I like not having any props in a yin class because then I'm really relying on the sensations in my body to like, hey, that's too deep. Hey, you're good right there, right? It just kind of, I think, allows me to work better with my system, if that makes sense. Don't get me wrong. I love a good restorative class. And I get, I have my other bolster and my other blankets in the closet. And it's really nice to come into a really good restorative yoga class and just use all the props. I love it. And I've taught restorative on here a few times. I've done restorative a few times on here. And I find that it's just not that popular. Maybe it's the day I pick. I mean, I don't give too many postures. I only do like 5 or 6, maybe. But I haven't found it to be very popular on here. What about your experience on Insight Timer with restorative class? Have you found it to be popular? I hardly get any donations when I teach restorative, and that's why I have to take it off because I find it's not serving me. You know what I mean? Like I love it, but if y'all don't love it, that's fine. I don't have to teach it. All right, we're going to take another 2 minutes. So hopefully you're ready. I tend to push myself otherwise. Yeah. Prefer yin. Yeah, no. And I find there's a lot of yin classes on here, which I love. I think it's great. I'm happy to see so much yin on Insight Timer. It makes me very happy because I think that signals to me that people are getting it. They're understanding that they need to slow down, right? We live in such a fast, busy world right now that we really need, unfortunately, we really need to schedule this time for ourselves, right? This is our self-care. This is us taking care of us. This is us pouring back into our own cups so we can be there for the others, right? Yeah. I'm happy that we all figured that out this morning. Good. Now, if you've taken the full shoelace, maybe you're coming into your fold and you're just working your way down, working the outside of the hips, maybe the low back. If the legs are straight, maybe you're feeling it in that leg that's straight. You're feeling that stretch, that nice stress, that pull back of the leg. So good. All right. Breathe here, my friends. Keep going. We have another minute. I'm just going to pop over. Hi, Hope. I didn't know restorative yoga was until you just explained it. You are so welcome, Hope. Yeah, restorative is just, let's call it this. This is what I've been referred to it as before. This is what my teachers called it. structured adult nap time. Structured adult nap time. That's seriously what it is. It's just putting your body and setting it up in a position using all of your props to fully restore and reset. And it's like you're awake, but you're almost in that kind of sleep state because your body is so relaxed. So, this is what I find. I mean, this is why I think we all need yin or restorative. We need that in our bodies, right? We have so much happening in our lives. I mean, I try not to, honestly, I do. Walk your hands back, friends. That was our 2 minutes in our nice long shoelace or half shoelace. Unwind your legs, and then you can take your legs, straighten them out. They probably feel like pretzels, so give them a little wiggle. I love having nothing to do. And there's a difference between doing nothing. I've talked about this before. Difference between doing nothing and having nothing to do. Do you know the difference? Okay. Doing nothing means you probably have things you can do, but you're choosing to do nothing, right? Having nothing to do means you legit have nothing to do. Like all the laundry's put away, the dishwasher is empty, the plants have been watered, the dogs have been walked, like you have nothing to do. I like that. Like there's a difference. There's days where I have things to do and I'm like choosing not to do them. That means I'm doing nothing. Having nothing to do means I legit have nothing to do. I'm like, quote, bored. I'm never bored. I'm never bored. I'm always finding something to do with my time. But there's a difference. And so I think we really need to work on scheduling this time for ourselves. So thank you all for showing up and being here. It's good for us. Okay. I haven't seen any more requests pop through. We've done a lot of low back, a lot of hips. Let us go ahead and come down to our backs. I'm going to start winding us down. We haven't really done anything too much on the back, so let's go ahead and take a little banana asana. I think that might feel really nice now. So come down all the way flat on your back. And just give your body a few moments to adjust being on your back. We've spent a lot of time face down, which is so good for grounding and soothing our nervous system, right? So let's keep adding on to that. We're going to take our arms overhead. So inhale here, and then you can walk all of the limbs, the legs, the arms over to the left. So you're going to kind of make a crescent moon shape here with your body. I like to take my left hand and grab my right wrist to give it a little pull. We're going to be here for 2 minutes on each side. Now, I also like to cross the legs over so I can feel a little bit more sensation in the IT. So I want you to experiment. Where do you feel the most? Where are you going to get the most out of this shape if you cross your legs one way or the other? So try them both out. See what you feel works better for you today. I personally like when I'm doing to the left, I like my right leg on top. And I can really feel like a pull all the way from my hip, actually all the way from the armpit, all the way down the side of the body. So a good side body stretch here, friends, and just breathe. If the arms begin to tingle or you feel a little numbness, that is a cue to bring your arms down, okay? Everyone's tolerance with the arms overhead is going to be a little bit different. See, I was able to teach somebody something today. Right? That's that teacher, the heart of the teacher in me is that I want to explain because I want you to have the knowledge and the information for you to make good decisions about your practice. You know, it's not just teaching the postures. There's a lot that goes along with our yoga philosophy. Keep breathing into that side of your body. Nice full breath in. Soft, smooth exhale out. All right, gently release your arms down. And then walk your legs and your arms back to midline. And then we'll take the other side. So when you're ready, inhale, reach the arms up overhead, over to the right. Now take the legs and walk them over to the right. And then cross one leg over the other. Try both. Maybe one side, maybe the last side you had the right leg crossed over, but maybe you want to try it again with the right leg crossed over. Just test them out, see how they feel. You never know until you try. Hi, little girl. Hey, mama. Please. Again, if there's any tingling or numbness in the arms, just release the arms down alongside your body, or cactus arms. If you haven't done this shape in a while, or if it's new to you, it's kind of the same thing if we send the legs up, right? We do a little Viparita Karani, and the toes start to tingle. Same idea. It's just you have to work your way up, build a tolerance for it, so to speak. So this will be our last Tuesday class together. Next Tuesday, I'm going to be at a conference getting ready for going back to the classroom. And then I start all of my training with Clark County School District. So just Friday classes will be on the schedule for now until I can figure out another day, but it would be an evening. So just keep your eyes open for the calendar and follow me on Insight Timer. Keep you updated on all the classes. So right now, Yin will be scheduled for Friday at 4 p.m. So far, that's what I have. And if anything changes, I will let you know. Keep breathing into the left side body. So think about we're opening up on the left side, but a little compression on the right. And then it was opposite when we did the other side. So there's always that twisting, compression, or stress we're adding to the body. That's how we work these soft tissues and get them stronger. All right, friends, carefully release your arms. Uncross your legs. Bring everything back to midline. If you want, you can bend your knees, plant those feet on the floor, give your hips a little lift. And then you can do it a couple times, just kind of reset and realign your spine. And then we will get ready for a twist. Hi, little girls. All right, I'm going to offer you 3 different versions of your twist today. If you like, you can take both knees over to one side. That's an option, right? Or a single leg, so one leg straightens, one knee bends, and bring that knee across. Or last one here, twisted roots or eagle legs. Make sure you shift those hips over to the opposite side of your mat and then bring the knees down. That's just going to help you keep your spine nice and aligned. So the only thing that shifted were the legs. Both shoulders are always grounded. Whatever version you're taking, single leg, double knee, or twisted roots, both shoulders are on the ground and you're breathing here. Nice full breath in through the nose. Complete exhale, let it go. Again, softening through your facial features. And closing your eyes, and again, drawing that awareness inward, going yinward. All right, friends, as you inhale, slowly bring that knee back up. Again, a little reset for your spine if you like. Bring the soles of the feet to the floor, and a little lift of the hips realigns the spine. And then when you're ready, Other side for the twist. Remember, plant ground down through both shoulders. Good. We want to make sure that our body is supported. So if the shoulder is popping up, then bring this knee up and out of the twist a little bit so the shoulder can ground. Okay? Use a block or some kind of support under the knee if you need it. Breathing here. Stay for one more inhale. And then as you exhale, roll to your back. And gently hug your knees in. Give yourself a little rock side to side. And then if you have a block or if you have a bolster and you want to bring it closer, you can do that. I'm going to kind of get set up for Shavasana, but before we head into Shavasana all the way, if you want to take a little legs up the wall, Viparita Karani, that's why you can use a block or a bolster, and then we'll send the legs up the wall. I just want to come over really quick. I like to grab my wrist to banana. Yes, it is, Julia. Grab wrist and gently pull. That's exactly what I love to do. So good. Okay, so block or bolster. I'm going to take my bolster since I'm going to use it for my legs at the very end. So grab that bolster, place it underneath your hips, or if you're going with a block, and then sending the legs up. So just give your body a little moment to get into this shape. See how it feels. And then maybe you bend your knees a little bit. For me, if I bend my knees a little bit, I can find this sweet spot where my legs just kind of float. I'm not doing any work. There's no pain. There's no engagement. The legs are just stacked in a way that they're floating. So try to find that sweet spot if you can. And if you don't have a bolster, if you don't have blocks, you can take some pillows and do the same thing. And you don't even have to wait for yoga for this. You can do this in bed before you go to sleep. Really nice. A great way to relax your body and prepare it for sleep. So keep this one in your toolbox, okay? You want to go to bed, you want to relieve your legs of any kind of pressure, or if there's any like fluid buildup, edema, whatever. Do this for a few minutes, and the same thing, like in Banana Asana, if the toes, the legs start to tingle, that means the blood flow is not flowing and you want to bring your legs out, okay? So just hold here long enough. Maybe it's 2, maybe it's 3, maybe it's 4 minutes. Everybody's going to be a little bit different. Take a couple more breaths here. Good. And you can bend the knees, place the feet down, lift your hips. You can push that bolster off to the side or maybe push it down underneath the knees, and we will get ready for Shavasana, my friends. All right, so get nice and comfy. Maybe it's a blanket under your head, bolster or blocks under the knees. Arms can be alongside you. Maybe gently tuck the shoulders underneath you for a little heart lift. And breathing here. Just let your body melt into your mat. Nothing to do, nothing to think. Doing nothing can be good for you. All you have to do is breathe here. All right, my friends, begin to deepen your breath. You get to bring a little movement to your hands and to your feet. Gently waking up the body after a very brief but oh so important Shavasana. And thank you all so much for being here today. Thank you so much for your donations and your energy and your input and the dialogue. I really enjoy listening and reading your comments, so please keep them coming. And then when you're ready, inhale, reach your arms overhead, full body stretch. Let's roll over to one side and just stay there for a moment before you pop up. Hi, mama girl. You're so good. All right. Okay. Let's find that nice, comfortable seat. We'll sit up and we'll close our class. All right. Thank you, Miss Julia. Appreciate that. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, that sounds amazing. I hope you have some wonderful, glorious gardening today in Nova Scotia, Canada. Thank you, Hope, so much. Thank you. I got to teach you something today. That's awesome. I love that. All right, friends, let's sit up nice and tall. And then I will see you. I have class scheduled for Friday at 4 p.m. So I will see you for some yin yoga again. Same format. You show up. I ask you what's going on in your body. You let me know what area you want to address. It could be physical. It could be emotional. You could just say, I've kind of had like a crummy day. I just came here to just be. And that's totally fine. So, all right, friends, let's sit up nice and tall. On your inhale, reach the arms overhead, palms touch. Exhale, bringing down all of that divine universal energy to your heart center. And that divine universal energy vibrates as the frequency of love through which you and I and all sentient beings are connected on this planet. The light in me salutes and honors the light in each and every single one of your beautiful souls. Namaste, my friends. Thank you so much for joining. Your donations are always greatly appreciated. And remember, this is our last Tuesday class together, but I will be doing Fridays at 4 p.m. For Feel Good Friday Yin Yoga. So same format. I will see you then. Betty says thank you so much. I'm just going to pop over really quick. All right. Thank you, Andrea. Good to see you. Yay. Beautiful. I just took in a stray blue-eyed white cat. Oh, I love that. Beautiful. He's deaf. Oh, I love it. Oh my God. I love all the animals. I tell my boyfriend, I'm like, I just want to go to the shelter and get all the dogs because they don't deserve to be there, right? All right, friends, I will see you on Friday at 4 p.m. and enjoy the rest of your day. And don't forget to drink your water, and I will see you soon. Thanks, friends. Take care. Bye.